Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Everybody doing out there today? Glad to see you. Hope everyone out there is doing freaking fantastic. Don't know if you saw the intro, man, but we are doing it up right here today. How many of you saw the new intro out there? Did you guys see the little logo thing happening, dude? Was that cool or what? Everybody see it? Yes? Hopefully, yes. What's going on, folks? As you can see, this is episode number 180. This is a big deal for me, man. I've been on the air for 7 years now doing the show. And yeah, it's a big deal, man. 180 is a huge number. No doubt about it. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy that you guys are hanging out. Hope everyone out there is doing freaking great today, man. As you can see, again, episode number 180. We're going back to the different format this week because we've got some stuff to talk about. Some big things happened this week on Raw as well as Dynamite news and WWE and AEW as well. So yeah, the intro is pretty sweet, man. Big shout out to Nathan Workman, Nate Dogg, who's not in the house. He's actually in court today. A friend of mine who's an attorney and also a Renaissance man. He knows everything there is to know about everything. Okay. Or maybe he knows a little bit about everything, something like that. So yeah, he's the tech guru that's hooked me up here. So again, big shout out to Nate Dogg. Yeah, I told you guys I was going to work on this, right? I told you I was going to fix it. So if you're just listening to the show and you've never watched the show live on Facebook, brother, are you missing out? All y'all are missing out. So yeah, I implore you to watch the show. By the way, we are also streaming live today for the first time on Wrestling Rumors YouTube channel. Shut up. So hopefully you guys are digging that as well. If any of you are on the YouTube or if you don't have the chance to watch us on Facebook, please, Wrestling Rumors on YouTube. We are there live and in living color as we speak. The video, of course, will archive so you can watch this stuff later on. So there you go. David says, I remember, let's see. David says, I remember, never heard, all right, Mark, yeah. Mark said, never heard of the YouTube channel. Well, brother, check it out, man. I don't think they've been doing much with it. Dave says, I remember a couple episodes ago, you said Orange Cassidy wouldn't get over. I didn't say he wouldn't get over. Brother, if you can find that to me, show it to me. Go ahead. I mean, if I said anything about Orange Cassidy, I said maybe he wouldn't be able to get over with the mainstream crowd like he would be able to get over with the hardcore AEW crowd. How about that? I don't know, man. If you can find that, good on you. I don't recall saying that. Orange is still not my cup of tea. Isn't that funny? Orange is not my cup of tea. But yeah, you know. But you know what? It's working. It is getting over. I can't argue that. Is it getting over in terms of it selling tickets? Well, we don't know because it's the empty arena era, of course. So I don't know, man. By the way, you guys are the first two comments of the day thrown up on the screen. So yes, sir. Everybody's doing great here on my end. I can't complain. Everybody's healthy. My wife, my kid, everyone's healthy. So it's all good. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are healthy and safe out there. We know what's going on in the world right now. We can't really kick off the show without addressing it. Yes, this is a pro wrestling website. Yes, this is a pro wrestling podcast, but at the same time, we're not oblivious to the world around us. It's a tough time out there, man. And I'm not going to lie to you. It affects all of us. It affects all of us a little bit more differently than others. You know, we mourn right now for George Floyd's family, obviously. We mourn for them and wish them the best, obviously. And we're saddened to see, you know, the business owners, the hardworking men and women who have lost their businesses, man, because of the rioting. So something's got to give, folks. We have to come together as a nation. We have to come together as a world, and we have to learn to respect each other and see each other for our souls and our hearts instead of our colors. Okay, that's how I feel. So there you go. I'm getting back off that. So there you go. Let's see what else we got going on before we hit on the topics of the day. Let's see. Brandon says the Jeff Hardy angle reminds me what they did with Hawk. I didn't like it. Then I don't enjoy it now. I don't much care for it either. I don't have it on the topic list for today. But brother, I'm with you. I'm not digging it at all. To be honest with you, it's nothing that I'm good with. I think that kind of thing should be left out. But listen, folks, as we've said numerous times here on the show, if I've said it once, and I will admit to this, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times in the past. This is WWE. They will do what they want when they want to do it. You can get upset. You can hate it. You can love it. You can do whatever you want to do. You can rage. You can bash your head in the wall. You can sing its praises. You can dance around in a clown suit. Doesn't really matter. They're going to do what they're going to do. So the best thing you can do is don't get stressed out too much over it. So, yeah, there you go. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get to the comments, or excuse me, to the topics of the day. You're going to like this one. This is a good one. Are you ready for this? Nia Jax, once again, has injured Kairi Sane. Now, as far as we know, Kairi is fine. She did have to have her head was stapled up, is from what I understand. I believe so. Yeah, it's let's talk about this. We've talked about her before. Nia is unsafe in the ring. I've said that before. I've been on the record as saying that. Nia Jax has no business being on the main roster. I don't know at this point if she has any business being in the ring in that company. I don't. I can't. I can't fathom. Actually, I can. And maybe this is not a fair assessment, but folks, you know what family she comes from. It's the Rock's family. It's the Wild Samoans family. It's Roman's family. It's the Usos family. Folks, if indeed she still has her job in that company because of who she's related to, that's a shame. She's unsafe in the ring. And on the HVW podcast, which I also host, by the way, High Velocity Wrestling on Facebook, go check us out. HighVelocityWrestling.com. There it is. I have talked at length about her with the various female wrestlers that we have on our roster, and they all are in agreement with me that she's very dangerous. She's very unsafe, and it's only a matter of time before she really hurts someone, perhaps to no return. By the way, folks, like I said, she's unsafe. She can't listen. I've seen talent, workers her size, male and female. Okay. And yes, they have the strength, uncanny strength. And yes, they have the power to put their fist through the wall, but guess what? They don't do it. They can work safe. They can protect their opponents. She's not doing that. You can't tell me at this point, folks, that she doesn't know she's doing it. Here's what kills me. When she buckle bombed Kairi that one time and Kairi hit her head on the second turnbuckle, folks, she's on Twitter and she's making fun of it, making light of it because she's a heel. This is what heels do. And I'm going to go out there and she's like dancing around in a meme on her Twitter account. I mean, at some point, WWE is allowing this to happen, don't you think? You know, I just can't understand it. I can't understand it, folks. Mark Gray says even Brock is more safe than her. I would submit that Brock is safe, period. Brock works snug. And Mark, thank you for your comment, brother. Mark works. There you go. Hey, what's up? Brock works snug. Brock works, brother. When and ask Triple H, he'll tell you, because he's been on the record of saying it before. When you work Brock Lesnar, it's like being in a car crash. That doesn't mean he's killing you intentionally. Absolutely not. I don't believe that a bit. No. I think he's safe. I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it. Doesn't mean he has never made a mistake. Absolutely not. No. But no, Nia is a different animal, dude. And I don't understand. I never heard stories of Awesome Kong hurting anyone. I never saw Awesome Kong hurting. And if she did, I sure didn't see it. You can't tell me that. And you know, by the way, I had a conversation this week with a friend about the same situation, not the same situation, but the situation in AEW with their former women's champion. And, you know, people have compared her to Nia in terms of size and whatnot. Dude, it's a totally different conversation. Totally different conversation. Her name escapes me at the moment. Help me out here. AEW Women's Champion, former AEW Women's Champion. I'm blanking on her name. Somebody hit me with it. Yeah, she's not unsafe in the slightest, and she is, in my opinion, what WWE wants Nia Jax to be, or believes that Nia Jax is, and they're delusional. If anyone in that company believes that she's a good talent, a good worker, they're delusional. Let's see. What else we got going on? Yeah, Nyla Rose. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, Shane. Shane, my old school / New Japan guy. What's up, bro? Nyla Rose. Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, Nyla Rose is what WWE believes Nia Jax is. She's big, powerful female wrestler, but she's safe. Guess what? Nia Jax not safe. I can't believe any. I don't know. I could go on and on about this. The whole point in pro wrestling is to protect your opponent. Why is that? So your opponent can work the next night, to get to the next town, making the towns, as they say, right? You got to be able to make the town. You got to be able to work your next opponent, right? So in order to make that happen, dude, you've got to be able to get through a match, not get killed, not get a broken bone or a torn anything or a broken whatever. And you got to be able to walk the next day. I mean, she's literally physically hurting women. Kairi Sane in particular. Remember the night she turned around and punched? But don't tell me anything. I don't want to hear anything about things happen. It was a melee. I don't want to hear it. She flat out, with as much force as she could, threw her right hand and broke Becky Lynch's nose. Didn't matter who it was that pulled her around. She didn't even look. She just threw the, hey, Nia Jax, you're supposed to pull your punches, okay? That's how pro wrestling works. My God in heaven. Unbelievable. James says Nia Jax is given the push because of her family ties. A lot of people feel that way for sure. A lot of people feel that way for sure. James says she doesn't know how strong she is. I'll give you that. But guess what? It's time to tell her. And I'm with you. But it's time to tell her. It's time. If you don't know yourself, what do you know? Do you know what I mean? We don't have to spend all day on this, man. But I had some stuff to say. I wanted to get it out here as soon as possible. We can go on to much more inspirational topics. Dude, it's totally fine with me. So let's move on. We can go on to something else here. How about this one? Drake Maverick. The Drake Maverick storyline is that he was fired. Well, it's not a storyline that he was fired. For as far as we know, he was fired from WWE, along with the vast ensemble of talents that they released a month or two ago, whatever it's been now. Didn't need to release them, by the way. They're making more money than God at this point. Released the guy, then they worked him back into a storyline for the interim Cruiserweight Championship, which is now conveniently just the Cruiserweight Championship, right? And by the way, Jordan Devlin's on social media talking about it, don't accept any substitutions for the real thing, right? Yeah, Rockstar Spud, Mark, good call. So, David, according to what we know, Drake has been re-signed. And the big thing where Triple H came out after the match and handed him a contract and all that stuff, supposedly he'd already been re-signed. And supposedly, depending on who you believe, who knows, right? But that he did not know that Hunter was going to come out with that contract at the end of the show. I don't know, dude. Who's to say? But that's the word going around. So anyway, it's a feel-good story. I'm not going to lie to you. I like him a lot. I always have. But as the ticker says there, does his rehiring belittle the firings that WWE did in the first place? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean to you? I mean, should we be happy for Drake? And we are. I assume everyone is. Yeah, they should be. In this day and age, people losing their jobs left and right? Massive, massive unemployment, dude. But are you happy for him, or is it just baby Jesus professional wrestling? What's up, Nate? Nate Dogg in the house, yo. Show that comment. What's up, bro? Yeah, so I mean, does it inspire you? Are you happy, or are you thinking about all the other talents that didn't get their shot? I don't know, man. James says, I wish Drake would have ripped up the contract and said it wasn't good enough then. Why am I good enough now? James, shut up. That's great. What a great twist. It's like, you know what? I just realized I fought my heart out to get this job back. And now that I've done all this, I don't think I want my job back. If I'm not good enough then, I'm not good enough now. Boy, that would have been epic. Good call, brother. Good call. Yeah. Let's see. Dennis, I'll throw this to you, bro. What's your take on Bret Hart? I love the guy for what he did in his career, but seems he spends a lot of time telling his dislikes of certain. Okay, well, Dennis, here's my answer to that, and it's off topic, okay? But here's my answer, my quick answer. As you just said, he did a lot for the business. It's the truth. You're absolutely right. So because he did, hasn't he earned the right to speak up? If you're going to sit there and read criticism or listen to criticism or watch a show or listen or read an article or listen to a pod from anybody besides me, hi, I'm Tom. But if you were going to do that with anyone, why not do it with a respected veteran of the business who you just said did a lot for it and you respect and you like? If you don't listen to Bret, you don't have to listen to Bret. You don't have to believe anything the guy says or agree with anything the guy says. But, dude, like I said, he's earned the right for his opinion for sure. Michael, we're going to get there, bro. We're going to get there for sure. Corey said Drake should not have been fired in the first place. Corey, I agree with you. But at the same token, maybe none of them should have. Maybe none of them should have, for sure. I wasn't, again, more money than God at this point, that company. More money at any given time in the history of that company is what the word is that they're making off the TV deals alone. So, yeah, dude, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Let's see. Carlos, what's up, brother? Our Impact has a commercial with all these WWE superstars that release for the next Slammiversary pay-per-view. Yeah, you're right about that. They're keeping it playing it close to the cuff. We don't really know what's going to happen there, but we'll see, man. We'll see what's going to happen. You got to believe that someone's going to show up at some point. Nathan says, I think Bret Hart isn't different than any other wrestling in that regard. Most end up with more than they don't like than they do by the end. Yeah, and you know what? I can honestly see that point of view. He's from a different generation. Now, you take guys like Chris Jericho, Tony Schiavone, Arn Anderson, who have totally embraced this generation. They don't run from it at all. They don't spend their days and nights worrying and crying and screaming and, bashing their head against the wall about how vile and contemptible today's pro wrestling scene is. They're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I think to your point. And I think a lot of it has to do with how you came up and honestly, the generation that you came up in for sure. Chris says, I think it'll be good that all the ones that get fired comes back like Nexus and destroy the pay-per-view. Wow. What a great idea, man. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's not bad at all, dude. That is not bad. I'm not hating that at all. Any final thoughts on Drake Maverick here, folks, before we move on? We're zipping through this thing quick today, man. That was not my intention. James says Jericho makes the younger talents want to be better. I believe that absolutely. Jeff, Mike Tyson, we're going to get there, brother. Jeff says, what's up with Mike Tyson? I promise you we're going to get there. Corey's talking about the revival now known as ATR, as FTR. We're going to get there as well, brother. No worries, man. So we've zipped through the first two topics for WWE, and it's, I don't have this as a banner, but we can talk about the Jeff Hardy thing, man, if you want to. What is it that, you know what? I've got a second. Let's see. Just so we can make it fancy, yo. There we go. The Jeff Hardy storyline. How are you guys feeling about it? What's your thoughts on it? If I may get serious for a moment, like Lance Storm, if I get serious for a minute, I don't find this to be entertaining. I have a personal reason for that. When I was 4.5, my father was killed by a drunk driver. I am, 46 years old now, and I have never had a drink of alcohol in my entire life. I've never tried drugs. I've never tried cigarettes. I've never tried any type of alcohol. The only alcohol I've ever had in my system is NyQuil, if that counts. The only drugs I've ever had in my system is like prescription painkiller for various injuries over the years, various pains and aches, whatever. That's it. I can't now, nor could I ever envision myself ever drinking, ever. I can't. And, listen, if you drink or whatever, smoke or whatever, dude, I'm not blasting on you. I'm not taking offense to it. It's your life. You can do whatever you want to do. It's, by the way, it's like I said, it's who you are. It's what you are. Whatever you want to do. It's totally fine if I get my words out. but it's not for me. And so I find storylines like this not very entertaining. Jay says, I think Jeff Hardy's storyline is ridiculous. They know once his contract is up, he's leaving, so they're going to do everything they can to try to diminish his legacy. I guess you could argue that, but there again, wouldn't he have to agree to it? What's up, Christopher? How's it going, brother? He would have to agree with this, wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're wrong at all. But, you know, we've seen them do this before. They did it to the Revival, and they knew the Revival wanted out. They tried to humiliate them. Dash and Dawson, who are now Cash and Dax, right? Vice versa. They didn't look at it that way. If you listen to them on Jericho's podcast, they didn't look at it that way at all. They just looked at it like WWE was trying to find something for them to do. But I'm like, you're shaving each other's backs in the shower, guys. You went from serious tag team contenders to having icy hot on your private parts. I don't, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that right now? What do I do with that? You know what I mean? We know what WWE's capable of. They've done it a bunch. They've done it a bunch for sure. Let's see. Mark says they're throwing real life situations in their storylines to get fans to connect better with the product. They've always done that, Mark. I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't say they didn't do that. Okay. They've done that for years. I don't have a problem with that on the face of it, but guess what? I don't have to like it. Okay. And I don't agree with this one. I don't agree with this one. The guy is not out of the woods yet. Okay. Just because you have recovered does not mean you are out of it. I mean, an addict deals with it for the rest of his or her life, right? I mean, just because you're recovered, and thank goodness you are, and good for you, does not mean that you're out of the woods. Doesn't mean that it's over. You know what I mean? So there you go. Let's see. Oh, Paul in Scotland. Paul, what's up, brother? Read a story on Facebook wrestling page that Fox are not using the Fiend as much because he scares kids. You know, I'm not saying, what's up, James? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that the story's wrong, but I find it odd that he was on TV that whole time and no one said anything about it. I can see how it would be scary, but guess what? Don't let your kids watch wrestling. You know what I mean? What happened to control what your kids watch on TV? And guess what? If he's a heel, he should be scary. You know, I guess it's a double standard. It's TV 14 or whatever, but it's not like he's biting the heads off live chickens or something. He's not Ozzy Osbourne over here. Do you know what I mean? To answer your question, man, I'm not sure. Would it surprise me? No. That WWE would buckle to what they want. I mean, they're getting a lot of money from that network. I mean, if it's me, sure, maybe I'd go along with that too. I don't know. It's an interesting point. Shane says, with all the issues the Usos have drinking and driving, and WWE allows the storyline to happen, is ridiculous. WWE is supposed to be a politically correct company. Shane, you got a great point, brother. I can't argue that at all, for sure. For sure. A lot of folks are asking about Adam Cole moving to the main roster, become a champion. He's a stud. A lot of folks, thank you, Ray, for that comment. I'll throw you up on there, brother. We don't have Adam Cole programmed in today, but we'll try to be a little bit more all-inclusive next week, okay? But it could be. There's all kinds of rumors about Adam Cole going to the main roster or leaving WWE once his contract is up. We'll see what happens. Mark says, thoughts on Matt Riddle being called up to SmackDown. I feel he can be a megastar since now WWE is more towards the kids market. I'm still not sold on Matt. I don't dislike him. I've seen him in person. The guy can work. He's very good in the ring. I have no issue with that at all. At the same time, is he my personal cup of tea? No. But I'm not going to let that shroud my opinion of the guy. I like him, and I think he is part of the future of WWE. I think, especially for this generation, he fits in more with who they are, in my opinion. So yeah, I think he's got a bright future for sure. We'll see what happens. They've had plenty of guys come up to the main roster, and they've completely destroyed them. Danny, we addressed this last week. What did bother me was the attempt Matt Hardy was drowning after what happened to Shaggy. We talked about this a little last week. We may have touched on it. I think we did, but I can't remember. We had a lot of technical issues. I get your point, man. And honestly, I can't argue that at all. I think honestly, I got to ask myself when that was taped. When was the match recorded? Because and even then you could have removed it. Would it have killed the match? No. And to your point, you could have edited that out. And it would have been fine. It would have been absolutely fine. You didn't even need it, for sure. Yeah, that's not my hill to die on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And I totally get that opinion, and I'm not going to argue that at all. I'm not going to argue that at all. So, what about the way Seth is hurting wrestlers? Darlene says Seth's done it before too. Listen, accidents happen. There's a big difference between accidents happen and you're hurting people. What side does Seth fall on with that? But Seth is a top guy. He's been there for a long, long, long time, and he's accomplished a lot more than I has for various reasons, obviously. But at the same time, his track record does not basically include, screw up after screw up after screw up, pain, injury, suffering, pain, injury. You know what I mean? Staples, blood, staples, stitches, concussion, staple. I don't know. I'm not going to dismiss what you said. I totally get your opinion and I respect it. But, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could put him and her in the same boat if I'm being honest with you. But that's just my opinion. So. Thank you, Sal. Sal says, congratulations on 180 episodes. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Good morning, Belinda. Belinda's late. Everyone say boo to Belinda. Just kidding. Danny says, Nia Jax should be taken on TV until she's safe to work with. I agree with that. Maybe be taken on TV permanently. What about that? All right, folks, let's move on to some AEW talk now, if you guys would like to do that. How about this one to start off with? Does Chris Jericho versus Mike Tyson help AEW? What's your thoughts on that, folks? How do you feel about this whole thing? Is it too silly? Is it way past its time? Should this thing have happened 10 years ago? Does anyone care? Do you care? More importantly, what do you think about Jericho versus Tyson? Do you care about that? Does it matter to you at all? Are you anxious to see the showdown between the two, or is it just going to be a freaking train wreck? I'd love to know what you think. Tell me what you think, man. I'm serious. I got my own opinions, but I'll say them. Thank you, Alma, for the congratulations. Appreciate that. I'll throw you up on there. You've been a loyal watcher of the show. Thank you very much. What do you think about that, man? Belinda, it's all good. I'm messing with you. No worries. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like I said, I got thoughts, but I'm gonna save them. You guys hit me. Carlos says they should have a street fight. Probably what it's gonna end up being, I say, but I don't know. Can you imagine Mike Tyson throwing working punches and not killing someone? Well, we'll see what happens, man. Let's see. Eric says, AEW, let's go. I don't like Tyson on it. Well, there you go. Mac says it's a ripoff of Stone Cold and Tyson. Mac, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I hated to be that. I don't want to be that guy. AEW is already fighting an uphill battle. Okay, soapbox. It doesn't matter what they do because fans are always going to compare them to WWE. Okay, other companies don't get that. New Japan doesn't get that too much. Ring of Honor gets a little bit, but AEW, because they're so high profile, because they got so much money, because they got a network television deal, worldwide exposure, dude, they're often compared. So why in the world would you bring in Tyson? You could have brought in anybody in that spot. It could have been a, WWE's already done Tyson Fury. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good call. But why would you do it? So part of me does say, yeah, it's a ripoff. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a deal breaker for me. I don't know. Eric says, can you say hi to Marshall and Marcia and Steve? Excuse me. I'm out doing yard work. I visit my parents in South Carolina. They're wondering what I'm listening to now. Well, hello, Marcia and Steve. Erickson's South Carolina. Your boys in North Carolina. Thanks for listening, man. Big shout out today. All right. By the way, Patreon's got the packages, bro. If you're curious about that, I do massive shout outs, watch alongs, man. Go check me out. Tom Clark's main event on Patreon. Now that we got the new setup happening, it's going to be super freaking awesome. So there you go. Sal says people will still watch with Tyson involved, including me. Well, there you go. So it's not going to interrupt Tyson at all. Danny says they could have brought in Deontay Wilder. Yeah, good call. Toby says AEW has so many talented guys to waste on Tyson. And see, and there, Toby, and here we go, bro. Not that you did this, okay? But here we go, man, to the point of people comparing AEW to WWE. We're going to get people saying things like this. It's the criticism that's always thrown on WWE for constantly bringing back veterans, for constantly bringing in outsiders, is that you gave that TV time to somebody else. Is AEW now going to start hearing that as well? That they've got that packed locker room full of young, aspiring talent, but yet they bring in Mike Tyson for a main event spot. I don't know that I've read and seen a lot of that, but that could be my first little glimpse of it. You might be right. That thing could just be starting. Jen says, "Hey, what's up, Jen? Welcome back to the show." Chad, what's going on, bro? Some people still popping in. I don't blame you guys, man, at all. I've had such technical issues over the past 2 months, man. But guess what? Studio time, Jack. Everything's all good. Yes. How's your boy looking? Fantastic. Everybody see the intro at the beginning? Little to no lag. Yes. Awesome. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about this. Again, shout out to Nathan Workman for making this happen. He's my producer, actually. I'm going to call him my producer from now on. So there you go. Let's see. Victor, it's a lifelong question. Which is deadlier in the ring, a boxer or wrestler? If you think about it, this is not the first time we see a boxer versus a wrestler. You're right, Victor. We've seen it before. It's never been great. If I'm being honest, I've seen many over the years. It's never been what I would call main event level amazing. Okay. There's gems here and there, but for the most part, I don't know how. All right. So I told you I was going to reserve this to the end. All right. Here's my take. Okay. Mike Tyson is clumsy. He's awkward. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to say. He don't know where to stand. He don't know how to stand. Okay. But having said that, he's a real person. He's not scripted. He's not overly scripted at all. He's not at all what WWE would have done or did do with him, where by God, you stand there, don't you say a word. I mean, I'm sure somebody at some level during the Austin thing said, look, just chill out, don't say anything. We do the talk, and then when you do this and do the shove. Okay. So I don't know. That's just me talking, but he won't be overproduced in AEW. Again, my issue is, can Mike Tyson pull a punch? I mean, he did it against Jericho and didn't kill him, so that's a good thing. So, yeah, he did it against Shawn, didn't kill him. Yeah, he knows how. He's been taught how. But in the heat of the moment, at this point, when he's wanting to get back in the ring again, I don't know, dude. But he's a professional. I'm not going to discount the guy. He's not a friggin' idiot. Some people have labeled him that because of his attitude and the way he behaves and things. But, dude, I'm not saying that at all. I think he's a smart businessman. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I just don't see that at all. I believe that he is exactly what people believe that he is. He's still a monster, man. He is. He's still. Go look at his workout video where he's in the boxing gym. I'm not messing with him. Are you kidding me? He hasn't lost an ounce of speed. I mean, he's getting his speed back. Now, of course, he's quite a bit older. Let's be fair than he was before. But I'll tell you something. Tyson was a rookie when I was watching boxing, and man, he was scary, dangerous. His fights didn't last more than a minute. If they lasted that long, 30 seconds, whatever it was, you pay $50-$60 for a pay-per-view and the thing's over in like 30-40 seconds. You're like, God, there went all the money. So Toby, Tyson versus Swagger might be cool. Boxer versus MMA. Ooh, Toby, I don't hate that. What if Jake Hager now steps up for Jericho and says, I got this, boss. You take the night off. I got this. That would be fun. That'd be interesting. Says, what do you take on Cody being the TNA champ? What a bump he took on Dynamite. Yeah, Cody's getting it done. He's a pro. I'm okay with him being the champion for sure. Eric says when he started taking off his shirt before Jericho even said anything, Jericho's like, what are you doing? Yeah, for sure. He was ready to brawl, wasn't he? And the boys he had with him in the rings, a couple of 2-3 UFC guys, I guess they didn't get the memo either that if a pro wrestler hits you, you're supposed to react. You don't shrug it off as if you didn't get touched. I don't know. Who knows how much they were even coached up at that point. Jason says Tyson's speech was horrible when he was inducted in WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah, I agree with that. There again, he's real. You can't accuse him of being overproduced at all, man, because that's not who he is. At the end of the day, will he be good for business? Will he spike a rating? Will he, Fyter Fest is going to be broadcast on Dynamite over a 2-day period on TNT. It will not be a pay-per-view format. Will he drive ratings? Absolutely. How many ratings will he drive? It remains to be seen. I'm keeping myself neutral on this point. We'll see how it all plays out. So there you go. We've already had some people talking about this. We're going to go ahead and talk about it now. FTR is part of AEW. So yeah, FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, now part of part of FTR, of course, part of AEW. What did you think about the interview with Tony Schiavone? I thought it was well done. Again, one of the things I love about AEW, and I know it's a knock, but take it, whatever, dude. However you feel about it's up to you. I love the fact that AEW is not overproduced. It generally feels like they had a 2-minute conversation backstage, and they were told, "Okay, go." You know what I mean? That, to me, that's pretty cool. And nothing that they do feels like it's been rehearsed. Now, some of the matches do. You can tell that they are running through the matches. They do that on the indie circuit. Maybe not in the ring, but they run through it. In the locker room, dude, yeah. Not to peel back the curtain that much, but yeah, trust me when I tell you, guys and gals are running through this stuff. Okay, you do this, and I'll do this, and you turn and flip, and I'll be, So they're working it out, like the aesthetics of it, the mechanics of it are being worked out beforehand. So there you go. Chad says, amazing signing. Yeah. Danny says, yeah, with silly names. But guess what, Danny? These names they chose themselves. They didn't get stuck with any names they didn't want. This was names that they chose themselves. So there you go. I never liked the name Dash Wilder anyway. It's freaking terrible. Toby says the AEW tag team division is ridiculous. You talking about ridiculously full of talent, or are you being like sarcastic? What's up, Bit? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see. What's up, Shannon? Could you imagine the pop they would have got if they debuted with the crowd? Absolutely. The same could be said with Brody Lee for sure. Robbie says, will you and the boys see WWE now that they let 50% of the fans attend? I have no desire to go to a WWE or AEW show right now. I'm trying to stay safe. Me and my family have been safe through this whole pandemic, and we want to continue that trend. I don't like being sick, and I prefer to be healthy, as I'm sure all of us do. I have no desire to do that. I don't want to go on vacation. I don't care to go to a crowded whatever. I don't care to go to a restaurant. Nah, not happening. Not for me. I will eventually, but not right now. It's too soon. Toby says ridiculous isn't amazing. I'll agree with you. Danny says Dax Harwood is worse. Well, Dax is Scott Dawson's name. Dash Wilder is now Cash Wheeler. But yeah, Cash Wheeler. Cash Wheeler's real name is Daniel. I can't remember his real name, but Daniel was actually. Okay, so I think I told the story before. Cash Wheeler / Dash Wilder of the Revival, now FTR, was once part of HVW back in the day. He was Stephen the Fever Walters. He was the HVW champion. True story. Go check us out on social media. If you're on the YouTube channel right now, go to High Velocity Wrestling on YouTube. There's a video of a matchup between him and the chief operating officer of HVW, Ken Magnum. So yeah, go check it out, man. That's where I met him years and years ago. So yeah, he's been around for a while. Sal says, whatever you call them, they can wrestle. Boy, I agree with you on that one. Well done on that. Mark says Impact has made RVD into a joke. Well, did they do that, or did he do that too? Because when you talk about companies outside of WWE, these men and women have a lot of creative input. I dare say he does too. He's got a hand in this. I'm sorry, he does. I'm not saying he's controlling the narrative, but he's got a hand in it. He's part of the deal, man. Chad says, what do you think about the rumor of FTR, Spears, and possibly Cody forming the Four Horsemen? I don't know if I would throw Cody in there. And Cody, with all the heat he has had before with Sean Spears, don't know what kind of a fit that would be. It'd be interesting. They'd be heel. I don't know if Cody should be turning heel right now, in my opinion. I think he's just fine as a face, but who would you put in that spot if not Cody? It's interesting. I'm okay with it. Dude, are you kidding? To try to recreate the Horsemen? What would you call it? Good question. Have Arn as the manager. That's something we've dreamed about for years with Arn and them, right? David says, I love to see Enzo, Cass, and Ryback in AEW. David, that's a melting pot right there, brother. I don't know. Tina says, who's running Impact now? Isn't Lance Storm still a part of Impact's upper tier? He and oh my God. Now you're going to make me blank on the name. What is his name? Somebody give me the name. He was He was in the business for a long time. They used to have a podcast. He and Lance had a podcast together called Making the Towns. Oh, I can't remember his name. Man, sometimes I blank on that. Give me the name, somebody. I thought he was still a part of the upper echelon of TNA, or of Impact, excuse me. Don Callis, thank you, Danny. What's up, brother? Thank you. Yes, Danny, Cody has bled most of it. Cody's old school, man. I can't say I like it all the time, but what do you think of Brody Lee trying to recruit Colt Cabana? I love Colt. I think it's different. I don't know if it's going to happen. It could be kind of odd. It'd be kind of like putting Daniel Bryan in the Wyatt family, right? Any other thoughts on FTR? James has a question. Hit me, James. Jeff Jarrett was, Tina, but he's not connected to them anymore, to my knowledge. He was backstage at WWE as a producer, but I don't know if he's still there. I think he is, but I can't swear to it. So yeah, any other thoughts about FTR? I'm looking forward to it. The things they said about the Young Bucks, comparing them to the Midnight Express. I don't know how in the world to get that. But yeah, I don't know. Mark Gray says, Dixie Carter, bite your tongue out of your head, Mark. Not for a long time, brother. You can tell, too. I'm going to enjoy this. As we said before, yes. As we said just now, yes, they have a sick, ridiculous tag team division for sure. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to see what's going to happen with AEW. I enjoy watching Dynamite. I'm not going to lie to you. Raw's still hard for me to watch. SmackDowns can be very hard to watch. NXT's better, but it's, the impact of the main roster weekly grind of television has really, really, really made an impact, in my opinion. You could take that or leave it, man, whatever you think. All right, folks, we've got one more for today's episode, and it's a good one. It's simple. Questions, comments, words of wisdom. This is the free-for-all, baby. So whatever you got, this will be how we, we've gone through this fairly fastly today. Fairly quickly today. Again, hope you guys are enjoying the new format. Hope you guys are digging the crap out of this, because, brother, I am. I got my Burger King headset on. Drive around. What did she say? Extra cheese? Never worked fast food in my life. Isn't that funny? Corey says, what are your thoughts on Vicky joining AEW? If she has indeed joined AEW, I think that's good for her. If it's what she wants and she's happy, let her do it. Go with God. What I think of Seth Rollins' new group. I'm an Austin Theory fan. I watched Austin Theory. I've seen Austin Theory work live. He's a good, talented kid. He's very good. Doesn't get the kudos he deserves. Hopefully he will now. I'm happy for him. He's in a prime spot on the flagship program of the biggest pro wrestling company in the world. Good on him. I love it. Shannon says we can definitely agree that Wednesday night is the best night for wrestling. Shannon. Well done, Shannon. I'm digging it. Sal says I'm digging it. Talking about the new format. Thank you, brother. Let's see. James says saw post Sasha Banks going to turn. Bailey has. I saw a post of Sasha Banks going turn no Bailey has anyone interviewed. James, you lost me on that, brother. Yeah, so see, Robbie says, do you think Dominic will turn on Ray? You know why you're asking this question? Because it's WWE. Probably wouldn't ask this question if it was New Japan, Impact, whoever. WWE has conditioned us to believe that the feel-good moment that you want to stand up and cheer for is going to end at any second, because the major turning point is going to happen. Let's rewind to the night that Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, turned on Seth Rollins. Let's rewind to that, okay? I said then that it was a good move because it was shocking, it was different, it was a twist. I couldn't wait to see how they followed it up. But at the same time, I also said, let's hope to God they have a plan. Guess what? They had no plan, okay? There was no plan at all, period, all right? So they wasted it. They ruined it. I didn't think it was a bad idea on the face of it, okay? I stick to that. Instead of they wasted it. Sorry. It's just what they did. I think it could have been huge. It could have been massive. It could have been the storyline of the year. They blew it, man, because instead of they do that. They can't help themselves sometimes. Think of the company we're talking about, man. They can't help themselves sometimes, man. They take what should be a great story on a silver platter, man, and they blow it to pieces. Sometimes they can't help themselves. I'm not kidding. It's crazy. Funny how they do that. Yeah, Carlos says, I heard that Ray Sun's going to turn, but when? I don't know. When you least expect it, or when you most expect it, because WWE's, it's hard for them to surprise anybody anymore, being honest with you. David says Sami Zayn should go to AEW. A lot of people should, for sure. Shane says, who wins, Moxley or Cage? Brian Cage gets my vote. I think it's too soon to take the belt off Mox, but here's the great thing about John Moxley. He doesn't need the belt at all. Now, in my opinion, you don't take it off of him yet, because he needs to validate his run in that company and validate that championship and make it mean something and establish the title, in my opinion. Does Cage never get it? I didn't say that. Would Cage be the first one to ever be the first ever Impact World Champion and AEW World Champion? I think he would, because only Jericho and Mox have held the title. They wouldn't mention that on the air, but you know. Russell says, who is the hacker on SmackDown? It's me. I'm letting the cat right out of the bag. You shoved him in the bag, I'll let him out. I don't know, man. Here we go. Has anyone company has interviewed Sasha Banks Bayley about having a match at SummerSlam? I don't know. They've been trying to turn those two against each other for years, but they haven't. It's kind of all a very diluted situation at this point. It's weird. David says, let's talk about the Hogans being banned from AEW. David, I left it off the banner this week, or the first week ever. I left off the banner, you know. So let's talk about that, shall we? So Linda, the former Mrs. Hogan, Linda Hogan, right? Who keeps her husband's last name, because why wouldn't she? Actually, his fake last name. Okay. Goes on Twitter and says the Afro-Americans are doing the rioting. It's Afro-Americans. It's who they are. That's what dude, I didn't say it. Open mouth, insert foot. Sideways. Size 15, hard. Idiot. Okay? I'm going on the record. She's a friggin' idiot. I don't care. I'll name call all day. I don't care about it. Usually I'm more professional than that. You're a friggin' idiot. And you're probably racist. Okay? Call like you see it, baby. All right? It's 2020. The time for being shy about this stuff is over. Call like you see it. We don't call out people enough on racism, Jack. You know it and I know it. We all freaking know it, okay? We all know it. You're just a little bit racist. Or maybe you're a lot of bit racist, okay? Tony Khan, president of AEW, responded and said, well, you just got banned from I'm paraphrasing, okay? But it's like, well, you just got banned from, you just joined your husband. Congratulations. Racist? He didn't say that. Yeah, they're both banned. I mean, Hogan said what he said, brother, about black people years ago. I mean, what do you think, man? What do you think? What do you think about, okay, Tony Khan being petty? Danny, I disagree. Tony Khan's standing up for his company and his roster. That's what Tony Khan's doing. Big ups to Tony Khan. I got nothing but respect for that dude, especially now. But it says, I missed your show. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching again, man. Been a while, hasn't it? And I'm so glad that everything's working great. I'm so happy. Let's see. Don't need to be on social. David says some people don't need on social media. How about 85% of them, Dave? Totally right. Eric, little question. I'm behind. What happened to release WWE talent that showed up on Impact pay-per-view? Did it even get company right? Are they now signed or just for that event? It could be, that's a great point, Eric. Thank you for that. It could very well be hey, listen, show up. We'll give you a couple $1,000 or whatever. I mean, I don't know. It could very well be that, just to spike the ratings, spike the pay-per-view buys. It could be. We'll see. Impact has to do something. because a lot of what they do is not good. Now, compare the company today versus 5 years ago. They've made it's better in many ways, and in many ways it's not. I covered Impact when I was full-time writing all the time. I covered Impact for a long time. Okay. And after a month or two of it, I said, I can't do it anymore. It's too freaking hard. It's just too freaking hard, man. So guess what I did? I quit covering it because it's hard to watch. Some of the people they have on their TV featured, I'm just not, to me, they aren't stars. They want them to be, and they're not. They're not TV people, in my opinion. So that's why it's hard to watch. But I mean, they need to do something else for sure. In my opinion, they need to do something. I don't think what they're doing is enough. Claire, one of my favorite fans ever. Claire in Manchester, England, loving the show as usual. Still be working, so I'm happy to be able to listen to it again. Claire, I love you. Thank you so much, Claire Jane Brown, with the best name. Some of you guys have the best names ever. I'm not kidding. Claire Jane Brown, it's just, there's something about, don't let anybody tell you your name's not good. It's very good. Thank you so much for listening. Are you watching too? Because, hey, I'm happy. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning, except I didn't get to open anything. It's all good. So I haven't got the Rey Mysterio mask on the base. You see that? Got the steel chair behind me, just in case stuff go down. If stuff go down, I'm gonna be ready. You hear me? And then you can see him. There's the DOG. It's the guest star of the show, the DOG. If I say the DOG, if I say the word, he'll go, huh? What? And then he'll come over here and want to be petted. So it's who he is. It's what he is. He's a DOG. He loves the attention. Claire is watching. Fantastic. Thank you. Nate, what's up, bro? Do you think Arn's going to turn on Cody? I hope not. But wouldn't it be fun? He's a horseman at heart, right? Tina said, Tina, have you watched before? I don't recognize your name at all. And Mac, I don't recognize your name either, my friend. But thank you both for watching. Wrestling isn't like it used to be. It's become more drama than wrestling. The storylines have been crazy. The Lana one, I think, is the craziness. I have nothing but blah to say about Lana. If you're looking for comments about Lana, you come to the wrong dude, because blah, blah. Not as a person, get it straight, as a character. Blah. Nah. Don't care. Never cared. Not going to care tomorrow. Just me. Mac. What's up, Mac? I feel Monday Night Raw could be better if they were less soap and a little more wrestling and put something like the Fight Pit from the NXT show on every now and then. Been saying that for years. A lot of people have about Raw for sure, man. Miss Lopez, I'm sorry I didn't talk to you today, my dear. Thank you very much for watching. Miss Lopez is a regular. You're the best. Thanks for watching, as always. Have a great weekend. Let's see. What 2 wrestlers would you recruit to HPW if you had the chance? Ooh, Shane. Shut up, Shane. If I could recruit 2 wrestlers to HPW. Gary, you're not watching, are you, bro? Boy, are you missing out here. I'm about to make some signings, spend some money that we don't have. So what 2 wrestlers would I sign? From anywhere, any company, I'm guessing, right? What 2 wrestlers would I sign from any company? I'm going to go with some choices that maybe you wouldn't think. Ishii from New Japan. Shane, I know you'll appreciate that, because Ishii can work anybody and make anybody look good, and he's tough as nails, and fans love that. And he would get over in a heartbeat in North Carolina. Are you kidding? Smash mouth, full force, get hit by a little Mack truck at 200 miles an hour on the interstate. That's Ishii, baby. In North Carolina, people in this state go nuts for that dude. I mean, Ishii's making some coin, okay, but he'd make some coin here too. Probably not half as much, right? But we'd pay him what we could. Love to see Tomohiro Ishii in HPW. So that's the Smash Mouth guy. If I had to pick do I pick a finesse guy or do I pick a lady? Who do I pick? Ooh, it's a good question. I'm just trying to think about somebody that maybe is not a star somewhere else, but we could make into a star. Somebody be good for the locker room. Somebody that would bring people together and not, because the HPW locker room so far, man, we've been all about unity. It's all been about everybody getting along and having fun and enjoying each other's company and enjoying the matches, enjoying the show, enjoying pro wrestling. It's what it's all been about, man. We haven't had any drama at all. We don't like drama at all. So HPW is no drama. Check it at the door, Jack. That's what I'm saying. All right. Because we don't do it. And our talent will tell you too, we don't do drama. That's why we're there. Okay. I love those guys and gals for sure. I don't know, Shane. God, Shane, you stumped me, bro. I'm going to have to circle back around to that one. I might circle back around to that one. Shane, you pay attention to HPW. Who would you like to see in the company? Tina says, I've been watching wrestling since NWA and Mid-Atlantic back when Paul Jones and Johnny Weir. Tina, you and I need to talk, okay? Because holler at your boy. I'm an old school fan right now. If we're not friends on the Facebook, let's make it happen. I grew up watching the territories. Paul Jones, I got to work a show with Paul Jones one time. Great guy. We had a Night of Legends thing where we presented him a plaque in the middle of the ring. Great guy. Didn't say much. I don't know how has Paul passed away? I think he has, hasn't he? At that time, his health wasn't great, but he got along just fine. But it was crazy meeting him. Rock and Roll Express, Boogeyman, as Jimmy Vang, excuse me, Boogie. We all call him Boogie. Yeah, great stuff, man. Great. I miss those old days of hanging around with those the veterans. So, why is the Edge versus Orton match being billed the greatest wrestling match of all time? A lot of pressure on those two to deliver classic. Dennis, I got 3 letters for you. WWE, Jack. Okay, that's why, because that company will just say and do anything to market whatever. It's ridiculous. We all know it's ridiculous. Everybody who's a wrestling fan is going, what? Even hardcore WWE fans are going, what? This is the same company that delivered, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker twice. Same company delivered CM Punk versus John Cena in Chicago for the championship. Same company delivered CM Punk versus Undertaker. Same company delivered, Steamboat and Savage. Greatest match. Okay. There's a hand gesture to go along with that, and I'm not going to do it. All right. Okay. I'll just give you that. Redonkulous. If that's no longer a term, it should be. Mark says, I'm a big fan of Kota Ibushi. Boy, me too, man. But I'm telling you right now, Kota has been known to be, well, first of all, he's out of his mind. He's completely out of his mind. He takes scary, dangerous bumps. I can't believe the guy's not paralyzed at this point. But I love him too. I loved him before he ever became a household name in the States, or, before everybody became familiar with him. I saw clips of him on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my God, who is this guy? Back from his days in, was it DDT he worked in? Wow, crazy. Undertaker and Brock would be a good one, Tina says. Talking about the match? Yeah. Bits. Brother, we might close on your comment today. What did you think of Undertaker, The Last Ride? Here's my true opinion. You may not like it. I think it's well done. I think the production is fantastic because it's WWE and it's what they do. I think that he bears his soul like we've never seen before, and I have a ton of respect for him and his wife and his whole family for allowing this to happen. I hate it because it's destroyed him. It's completely destroyed him. Between AJ calling him an old man on TV and being broken down, all this other garbage, and them exposing him for the whole world to see, I hate it. Hate it. I have a massive love-hate relationship with this. They took the one guy they protected for so long, and they completely broke him down from head to toe. They did that. They did that. The company that you hardcore WWE fans cling to like it's the Ark of the Covenant. Hug it, hold it. It's the Word of God. It's the same company, dude. They took the guy that you supported for years, and they said, he's human. Look at him. He's old. He's old. He's old. And they beat him right down. Guess who else sees it this way? Maybe not everybody. Guess who else is ticked off? I'm not ticked off, but you know what I mean. Guess who else is losing sleep over? Maybe nobody. But in my opinion, you asked me, and from my own personal take, bleh, okay? That's what I got to say about it. I can't with that. I can't. They destroyed it. They did such an amazing job protecting him. No, I don't think he's a supernatural being. No, I don't think he's an actual gravedigger. No, I don't think he's an actual demon. No, I'm not saying protect that. I'm saying, for God's sake, could you take 2 minutes out of your day and protect the gimmick that made so much money for you over the years? Couldn't do it. Can't help themselves. It's WWE. It's what they do. They take what you like. It's the big shiny balloon, and they stick a great big fat pin in it, pop, and it kills you. And you're like, well, that sucked. So there you go. Danny says he got a good payday for that documentary. I hope so. I really hope so. He earned it. Yes, Undertaker's. I don't know when he's going to retire. I think if this thing is not showing us anything, it's shown us that's completely up to him. Folks, we are at 1:00 on the nose. I like to be punctual. Listen, I got to thank you guys for hanging out. This has been the best, most fun ever. It's been awesome. Thank you so much for this. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in, for hanging out. Again, hope you're digging the new format. This has been the coolest thing ever. This is how the show is going to look from now on, barring any unforeseen circumstances or anything like that. I'm very happy. I'm parched. I didn't take a drink of water through the whole show. That's going to change soon. I get off here. Going to guzzle that sucker because I'm parched. So listen, man, I got to thank you guys for watching. We're going to get the audience built back up again. We know you guys have a lot more stuff to watch and pay attention to. I do appreciate everybody taking the time to listen, to download, to subscribe. Remember, we're still available on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Please go subscribe. Apple Podcasts, man. Please go check us out. Again, as always, big thanks, big respect to Wrestling Rumors, Heidi Ryan, the whole crew, the whole gang, the whole team at Wrestling Rumors. Thank you so much for giving us these platforms. We do greatly appreciate it. That's all I got, man. We're going to get out of here. Listen, be safe. Have a good weekend. Get out there and try to enjoy the day where you can, but be safe. Do what you can. Get outside, man. You know what I mean? Get outside. Have some fun. Get out there and have some fun. Throw the ball with your kid. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.